Just let me go, okay? I won't tell anybody. I promise. Okay, please just let me go. Please.
You need fluids. You were in shock. Can't afford wasted flushes.
This is Film Sack. Oh, sure. Hello and welcome to Film Sack. This is Film Sack, mining the very depths of film entertainment for all mankind, and this is episode 744. My name is Scott Johnson, joined today by Brian. He spends a lot of time whittling down the tip of his crutch's Dunaway.
Oh, this is gonna hurt. Oops, missed. Oh, hi. This week on Film Sack, as we flee from the arms of a good man in the city over a misunderstanding that probably involves daddy issues, we find ourselves driven off the road and right into the smelly survival hole of, do you know him? Suspected GLP-1 user John Goodman? Oh, we all know the good man who lives on 10 Cloverfield Lane. Back before he cut back on the muffins man. Now pulling a daddy got regrets move by holding us safe hostage bad dad style. In this 2016 sort of sequel of that kaiju movie set in the same universe that proves genres are meant to be broken and shoved into John Goodman's barrel of acid he keeps under the sink. Anywho, with just a little rewrite, I think this would play great on the Hallmark Channel. Throw out the alien stuff, add in a big city job for our main character, engaged but needs some space. And now she has to go back home to check in on her small town dad who is suffering a humorous psychotic break. While there, she reconnects with high school classmate Emmett, who never left and finally gives her a piece of his mind on why she's always running from happiness. She's scared. You know what? Put the aliens back in. It'll be fine. Randy, I'm sorry no one is looking for you. Not because you're not loved, but because they're all dead. Now stop crying. Don't make me get the barrel. Come on.
I'm going to pull out the barrel.
The barrel. What is that? The barrel.
The minute he pulled that out, I went, you're going to be in the barrel. Somehow you're going to fall into that game. And it happened. Also with us, Randy. Board games during the apocalypse is his idea of Hell Jordan.
Aloha, Scott. Brian. Thank you for joining me in a magical underground bunker that somehow has perfectly everything people could need to live for years and is also really small, but is also so freaking big that we have one bedroom that's completely empty. It's completely empty, except for the incredibly sexy woman I just chained to the wall in there. That's not unusual, right? 55-year-old men put women half their age in a dungeon, and it's cool as long as you say no touching. And no touching means, I think, no touching yourself either. No, don't worry. We're going to get through this as long as you follow my 3 hellhole rules. Number 1, no touching. See what I did there? Yep. But seriously, if you lightly graze the hand of the person who's handing you the salt at dinner time, I will explode with fury. Number 2, no going outside. Or really, no even approaching the outside door. You would think everybody's going to be always looking out the outside. No, if you do that, you might look out the window and see what keeps flying over us. And you might care about something, you asshole. Number 3, and this is so important. No coming into my bedroom where I've got the only combination Taco Bell pizza, the combination shower toilet that you're going to want to use. So I've put this dainty curtain between it and the rest of the dungeon. It's weird that you're living here for months and you've never noticed my cameras. Bye.
Sounded like Sam Fisher's headset right then when you did that. That was weird. Nicely done. Also with us, and finally, we have Brian. John Goodman should never shave that beard off again, Ibbot.
Ooh, no, the beard. Definitely keep the beard, man. Jeez.
Gnarly.
You know what?
I did like the hydrated thing. That was great.
That was awesome. Wow.
These are listening to the original. I was noticing that Mick Jagger sounds constantly out of breath when he's singing that one. Okay. So in between verses, I'm jumping up and down. You can't see me doing it, but I really seriously am doing that.
It sounds, you know what? Now that you say it, I can I can hear it in your voice, but I guess I didn't know how you were achieving that.
That's how.
Is that how? Does that? Why does he sound so out of breath in that song?
I don't know.
Jumping around?
I think it might be part of because it's a song about comeuppance, about this girl that used to have him wrapped around his finger, and he's turned the tables on her, and so the song is originally about that, turning the tables. I don't know if it's based on a real life thing in his life, but also a little bit of controversy about the misogynist lyrics about calling a woman a squirming dog who's just had her day.
Jeez, not very nice at all.
Whatever.
Not very nice at all. I don't
How
like it.
appropriate.
Yeah, very appropriate for a
and so-
disgusting band. Yes.
So discordant with the vibe. The song is so chill.
It's so happy with the little xylophone.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what that is, a xylophone? I didn't realize.
Little xylophone.
Makes sense now that I think about it. Well, we're scooching around this movie. It's called 10 Cloverfield Lane. That's the name of it. And some of
Who
us
lives there?
John Goodman lives there.
Okay.
And
Howard.
He's there with Roseanne and the kids, and everything's fine. I'm going to let a fake Fletcher explain. This is Author Fortune. Author Fortune?
Arthur. Yeah, Arthur
Arthur
Fortune.
Fortune.
Oh, I put author. I think it is Arthur. I'm dumb. Anyway, here's him and his reading of this week's Fake Fletcher.
On this week's Film Sack, 10 Cloverfield Lane. A young woman is held in an underground bunker by a man who insists that a hostile event has left the surface of the earth uninhabitable. Goodman is Badman.
Do I like I did that? You want to do one more? I can do another take. You want to do another take? I can do another take. Just say the word.
It's pretty good, Joe Pesci.
Wow,
Pretty good.
Very good, Joe Pesci.
Yeah, not bad at
Is
the
it
end.
Arthur Fortune or Fortune?
I always say Fortune.
I wrote
whenever I see him in
Fortune,
chat.
but it is Fortune. But the way it's spelled or the way this was handed to me, the way the email came,
Like the
has
number
4
4 or something?
Yeah, well,
Okay.
it has FOR and then a space and then tune. But now that
I
you
always say Fortune when I see him in the chat. Yeah.
so what
Yeah,
I
if he's got it separated, then I would say Fortune as well. Absolutely.
and it may be that I just got it wrong, but it's
great
because I
reading.
definitely wrote author Fortune, not Arthur.
Yeah. But great reading.
he's a guy who writes novels for music. I get it. He's an author
Yeah.
Fortune.
Yeah. And he's good at
Yeah.
voices.
And it's really, really important that we always blame the volunteer whenever we have an
always.
issue like
Yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't send us a proper phonetic pronunciation
That's right.
of your
Exactly.
name.
That's
Yes.
right. By the way, this is a good time to remind people up on the website, filmsack.com, there is now an option under the contact us links that says, hey, you want to do a fake Fletcher? Join the list of people that I can call on. So it's a list we'll build. We'll rotate through some people that are regulars. Be a part.
Does
and get your voice
Scott
on.
Fletcher ever sign up for that? Because
No,
That would be
he
hilarious.
doesn't. He doesn't. Funny enough. So, well, that'd be great if he did. If he did, then I would absolutely use him. But he currently
he signed up as Miss Scott Fletcher. That'd be great.
I was gonna
Yeah,
say, it's like how Dolly Parton came in second at a Dolly Parton lookalike
Yeah, I love
contest.
that.
We'll have
Makes me
Scott
laugh.
Fletcher be a fake Fletcher.
that really happened. Oh my
I
gosh!
think it really happened. Yeah.
Holy crap! How do you get that wrong? That's crazy. How good was the the winner?
So good.
Right? Yeah.
Jeez, that's a
Miley
movie.
Cyrus is happy.
That's a movie pilot.
I'm looking it up because I'm pretty sure it's Dolly Parton. I'm trying to make sure that wasn't.
That's how I remember it too. So if
there it is,
If
yeah.
we're both wrong, then it's going to be like some kind of weird memory thing. But it was there.
Nope, it was Dolly
Okay.
Parton. I was like,
Okay.
it wasn't somebody else that I'm conflating with Dolly Parton. Nope, it definitely 100% was Dolly Parton.
Is this a recent thing? Like a
It's 2016.
I don't
probably.
see a
That seems to be in our wheelhouse.
year. Oh, maybe it's right here. Hold on. Here's an article about it.
okay.
Let's see if the
Just
year
curious.
is in here. Yeah. Yes, Reject All. Let's see. In 2012, she recounted the story in her book.
Oh, okay. Wow. So it was a long time ago then. I thought it was just because maybe like somebody came along who looked like young Dolly Parton
Right.
and was able to kill it. But it sounds like this
It
is
was
an older story.
Now, it was a drag queen show.
Oh, fun. Okay, but that changes a little bit, right?
It
Like
changes
what you're
a little
judging.
bit, yeah. But it still doesn't say what the year was that it happened. It's fantastic.
That's awesome, dude. I love it.
Yeah.
Well,
So, my
yeah.
friends,
Yes.
my friends,
Yes.
previously,
Oh, yes.
Yes, friend.
previously on Film Sack in November, just 6 months ago, we watched the movie Cloverfield, and
yeah. No relation.
while we were talking about it, we found out Scott Johnson hadn't ever seen the sequel.
It's true.
Any of the Cloverfield
Yeah,
movies.
or the Netflix thing they
Paradox.
did.
I've
I
seen
personally-
nothing but the first one now with you guys. That's all I've. And this one now.
And this
and
one.
this
I was gonna say, you didn't watch this
and
one?
and I have some trepidation about the third one. So let's really unpack this because we may not
I
ever.
watched the third.
What's the third? Is it the Netflix movie?
Yeah.
It's-
Oh, I thought it was a show.
If you think this one's no, it's just a movie on Netflix originally going to be a theatrical release, but boy, it really stretches the idea that these are connected in a Cloverfield universe for that one.
Yeah.
It really goes far.
It's the one. It's one in space or something, right?
Yeah, it's in space.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, I know like jack poo about that one. I barely knew anything about this other than I knew Trachtenberg directed, and it was his major film debut for him, which was a big deal. And that it went well, and that was also a big deal, and all that stuff. But beyond that, I knew John Goodman was maybe kind of bad because the poster made him look serious or
But
whatever.
see, you also got to wonder if, like, oh, well, maybe the posters make him look bad, but he's really good, and
the movie plays
that's
with
the whole
with that a
idea.
little bit, right?
It does play with
that's the whole
right.
idea.
Totally.
By the
yes.
time they're playing that montage music and they're playing board games and shit, I'm thinking, all right, well, maybe he's not the big bad, or maybe this.
Right. Maybe he's not a liar.
Turns out he really is a psycho. Like,
Yeah.
and very good at it. Like I think of John Goodman in so many roles. It's just they all pop into my head at once for some reason. But this one is uniquely different for him.
And it's the stuff that you don't see him do that makes him the worst. Like knowing this whole Brittany Megan abduction thing. It's like, holy cow.
Yeah, because he's lying to her, and we're supposed to decide because she's like, I want to run, but I can't because if his lies are true, because he lies for the most part, but sometimes he's telling the truth, and that's the whole crux, right?
It really was the most convenient thing for that lady to pull up in her little white Ford Fiesta. And
That was so tropey. It was the odds of someone like so. Either this is the only time that anyone ever pulled up to that bunker, and she just happened to be looking out the window at the time, or the next time she gets out, there should be like a mountain of cars and bodies,
people, right? Yeah, stacked
but
up.
the bad guy is allowed luck. Right, and that's what this is. This worked out for the bad guy. He's trying to convince her, and he just looked right into it.
Well, I'm glad you guys answered that because I wrote in my notes. Here it is, right here. I said, let's see, where did I write it? Can't find it.
Where'd this lady
Oh,
come
I
from?
put it here. I said, was the lady a plant? Did she have something wrong with her outside the alien stuff? Was it something that John Goodman needed for the moment?
So
how we would orchestrate that, I don't know, but that's where my head was. I was like, wait a minute, that's
that
real
middle
convenient.
question is explained, and it's one of the few things that really is. Like you see at the end of the movie that for some reason the aliens are piloting crop dusters.
Yeah. I love that was my favorite thing.
Totally,
What's it, crop duster? Wrote that down.
And so that's meant to explain how humans are being, physically damaged so that they die. Right. And so the woman who comes up in the white car and has damage to her skin presumably was crop dusted,
right,
by one of those vehicles.
Right.
Yeah, I assume so. Yeah.
That like I.
But crop dusted, then she hopped in her car and drove around until she could find a bunker.
Yeah.
Well, everybody knew, right, that he had the bunker. That's what he said. He's like, everybody knows.
Oh, right. And she was a neighbor lady named Jolene or whatever. Yeah. I think I'm thinking of
Jolene. Thank you, Dolly Parton.
I'm still thinking about Dolly Parton.
Don't take my bunker.
But also leaving it a little bit of a mystery as to why or how or whatever, I guess is a good movie idea to do. But because I tend to fill in the blanks, I was just like, it's so remote out there.
Yeah,
right.
That's another thing.
Yeah,
that's another thing. You're never really given an understanding of where in the world she is. You know, she's in Western Louisiana,
right,
and that she came there from East Texas, and
I thought
this farm could be really close to a town. Like you just don't know.
Oh yeah, are you talking about Mary Elizabeth Winstead came from?
Yeah.
She was from New Orleans.
Yeah.
She came out of New
Wikipedia.
Orleans, and then
I
later,
likes her,
and then later was heading to Houston. Is the idea, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But then because she had a choice.
Intersection.
She's she had the most clear. She actually had character development in a horror film, which was kind of interesting. She went from running and not facing her daddy issues, and John Goodman got her right over that with a little bunker time, right? And he had daddy issues on the other side of letting his child escape, right, with the mom, and so he's
what were her daddy issues they were exploring? I didn't get that.
Yeah, well, she talks about that when she runs into another bad dad when she's talking to Emmett, and she's talking about how bad dad was jerking the kid around, and she's like relating that to her own experience with her. With her
and then
dad
of course
with abuse.
Of course, Emmett, the character of Emmett has the most blatant character development. It was almost a little bit too much. His backstory is it's kind of cloying, right? He's got the bus ticket still in his wallet. Like it was a bit much, but it's cool because you have to have some sense of how he was super intimidated by everything in the universe, and he finally finds his ability to commit to something.
His courage.
It's upsetting to me that in the moment when he's facing death, he doesn't come up with a better lie about what the scissors are doing out of John Goodman's room. Like he could have said a number of things, right?
I think John Goodman was going to kill him no matter what, though, right? Like, sorry, spoilers.
Because he wanted, he wanted.
Yeah, I think we've already aliened this thing up. I think spoiler time has passed.
Yeah.
Obviously, he didn't want Emmett there to begin with. Somehow, Emmett got his arm broke, I guess, because he probably stuck his arm in the door. I'm assuming when John Goodman was closing it, and he just didn't want Emmett there the whole time, right? He's just like, ugh, this guy,
just annoyed with him,
ruining my mother, my daddy daughter time.
Yeah, my weird kidnapping where I run people off the road, and then somehow this is timed really well with an alien invasion. But what's funny about it is the script was originally called The Cellar. This is from the two dudes you saw in the credits, Josh Campbell and Matt Strucken.
Right.
Yeah.
Paramount bought it for a whole other thing. Anyway, it had a tiny little budget and was very specifically just going to be a mind game within the bunker. And then Bad Robot gets involved.
Oh, poor Bad Robot.
Thinks there's thematic similarities to Cloverfield rather. Can't help but do it. Can't help but do it.
I like how you still called it Cloverville.
Yeah, Cloverfield. Shit. The hot new cover podcast, Cloverville. That's right. And then they quietly reframed it as like this spiritual successor during production, and then literal connection. I mean, it's in universe, but it really is just sort of what it made me think we were going to get were a bunch of these stories that aren't actually monster stories. They're another kind of story, and then at the end, they're sharing the universe.
Right.
And then they didn't do it.
At the beginning and the end, you have to set up that we're in the universe to start. And this film does the least amount that it can get away with, but there's still something at the beginning. You still understand if you're listening to her radio. She's not, but if you're listening to her radio, you realize there's stuff going on. There's like major power outages along the eastern seaboard, this kind of thing. And like at the end, of course, we go back out into that world. And what just bugs me the whole movie is that they keep having flybys and none of them, like she shows that she's interested in finding out what that is. Right.
Yeah.
But like the movie doesn't want you, the audience, to get that big picture for some reason.
Because that's the gimmick of the movie, right? The gimmick of the movie from the beginning is that, can you trust what John Goodman is saying? Right. It's like, that's the whole crux of it.
Especially when the alternative is death outside. It's like, you can either trust me or you could go outside and die. And, it's a.
But that's part of the abusive relationship, right? It's not only the physical, which it gets into the gaslighting, the mental efforting,
paranoia,
of keeping someone close to keep them safe.
Right.
Because of course we assume it's like, oh, this dude is John Goodman's gonna rape this girl, but it's not about that. It ends up not being about that, and I found that kind of
but
interesting.
Still, the story of being trapped with your abuser is highly emotional, super emotional. You have all the concerns that you can possibly have. And early on in this movie, once my kid realized what it was about, he goes, a movie like this would never work with a woman as the abuser. And I'm like, I'm going to show you Misery, my son.
You gotta see Misery. Oh, you gotta see it.
Yeah.
That's what I kept thinking too. I kept thinking of how he was. I'm like, when's the hobbling going to happen?
Right.
I kind of expected that too.
Yeah, I kind of had the same affectations as she did. Now that you mention it, kind of this similar
Totally.
character.
It's hard. It's hard for this
unrequited love of the character. The writer's character. It was the
right. That's the big difference between Misery and 10 Cloverfield Lane is that I feel like they wrote Howard like a eunuch. I wouldn't have been surprised if at some point Howard says, I lost my manhood in the war or something.
Right. But that was important because we had to understand that it was all about his daddy. Everybody had daddy issues, and it was about. Yeah, I enjoyed that part of it actually because I got so sick. I was like, oh no, is he gonna rape her? I don't know.
Right.
I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, I was hoping none of those tropes would show up. They didn't, but the fear was still there, and that's good filmmaking because it's to make you not sure what to think or when to know it or whatever. How'd you like hearing? What's his name at the beginning?
Bradley
Cooper.
Oh yeah, Bradley Cooper. Yeah, that was great. I enjoyed that.
Why don't you come back home
I was fascinated by that because it could have gone really, really badly. And it's very carefully written to give you the sense that she is fleeing a bad relationship, but she's not fleeing from abuse to abuse. It's just she was done with the relationship. Like, this is a guy who made a call in the first place, is very apologetic, still wants to love her, this kind of thing. They could have written it to make him sound like a villain too. And they didn't. And I was kind of glad for that because this movie is a descent into treachery for her. And that felt to me like the right way to go about it.
Yeah.
You've got to explain where she's coming from, but don't make it seem like she was like she could have had a black eye, in the car. Right.
That would have been bad. Yeah.
And this is where you spend your J.J. Abrams tokens because you don't get him to do that as a little cameo unless Bad Robot takes over production and he calls in a favor because that's apparently how it all
They don't
went
get
down.
this for the seller.
No.
Right.
No. Maybe for the seller, you would have gotten Bradley Cooper doing the Rocket Raccoon voice.
Not
the real.
Yeah.
I need you to come back home and open the doors for me because my hands don't hold the knobs.
My hands don't. How's he say it?
My hands don't scan.
Scan.
Yeah. And this is 2016, so you're absolutely right. Bradley Cooper is an Oscar winner at this point. He has been in all kinds of great things on FilmSack. At this is the most recent Bradley Cooper movie we've seen. Of course, he was in Wet Hot American Summer, The A-Team, and Limitless. I feel like
see Limitless.
Wait, we should watch it.
Almost twice. Almost twice, people. You almost had the biggest goof of our lives.
By the way, the cast is so small, I want to just complete this. So this is our fourth movie for Ramona Flowers. She was in Swiss Army Man, Live Free or Die Hard, and The Final Destination 3.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then this is our sixth movie for John Goodman, and that goes Speed Racer, Revenge of the Nerds, Chud, Barton Fink, and Arachnophobia.
I forgot we did Barton Fink.
I did too. Wow.
I mean, I love that movie, but I forgot we sacked. Oh no, you know what? I know we sacked it because I got that great barf sound that I captured from it. Where John Goodman's hurling.
Honestly, I still don't know what John Goodman's career looks like without the Coen brothers. It's kind of weird.
Well, I mean, first time I think I ever saw the guy was in Raising Arizona, I think.
Same.
So probably a huge part of his coming up, and he's been in so many of them. He's so good in all of them. Shut up, Donnie. You're out of your element. It's also the greatest. I was telling Kim this when we had these two recent funerals, back-to-back funerals for my mother and then my wife's mother, and both of them were cremated. And I said, I want to have a cremation the way they do it and the way they do Donnie. So you take it out somewhere where the wind is blowing the wrong direction,
right at you.
and try to dump that can out and have it blow back all over. That's what I want.
Yeah.
Oh, I skipped John Gallagher Jr., who plays Emmett.
How dare you?
I don't know him, do I?
We've seen
Yeah,
him
I
in
don't either.
in a sacked movie before.
What is it?
Have we?
Yeah, he was in Rounders.
Oh.
Okay.
Is he?
I don't remember that at all.
Did he give him his money?
Give me my money. Hold on a sec. I don't know. Why don't I know him from? I can't know him from Adam, man. This guy.
Yeah.
He's just
I
he's a
didn't
bit of a
recognize
small
him
time
at all.
actor.
And I was wondering, would I recognize him if he didn't have the big shaggy beard? But I looked to see what else he's been in. There's not, aside from Rounders, not a lot that I've seen him in.
One little technical wish I had for this movie was that everybody's hair was successfully getting longer from each scene to scene.
You know, I was curious about that, Randy. Because since Emmett's arm was broken, I was like, I think only 2 weeks has passed. I mean, I don't think a lot of time has passed since they arrived.
her leg healed though, right?
Well, she just had a knee brace. We never said whether she was actually injured on her knee or not.
Well, when she took it off, she was limping pretty hard after she took it off.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
I think that was the implication. She got really hurt, and then had shock and all that, and then the braces on there to heal it.
What happened to what happened to Emmett's arm then? Because, like I said, he was in it all the way to the end. Even when he was burbling in the acid barrel, he was like.
We didn't see that.
You didn't watch the uncut. You didn't watch the uncut version.
Finally, his hand goes down, turns into a thumbs up like the Terminator.
Right.
Okay, I have seen him. There's this movie that what's his name? Flanagan made. Mike Flanagan, the horror writer guy.
Yeah.
I forget his things, but anyway, House on
Midnight
Haunted
Mass
Hills House or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, he made that movie with his now wife, Kate Siegel, called Hush, and he played the.
Oh, that's right.
He played the. He's credited as the man, but basically the guy with the mask, the ceramic mask outside. So we know him from some things, I guess.
Yeah, that I haven't seen.
Oh, Hush is awesome. You should see it. It's very good.
Hush.
It's a little more like, his stuff is so cerebral these days, or more character driven. This is more like straight up terrified horror movie kind of business, but it's very good. I like it.
What genre was this? I felt like it was thriller.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. It's a thriller and it's drama. It's a regular everyday drama. It's really not that horror of a horror movie.
No,
and it's definitely not that sci-fi. Like you've got the sci-fi universe that it's in, but nothing really ever happens inside the bunker. That's
right.
Like imaginary about the future. They're actually kind of like they're surrounded by a jukebox and all kinds of
an amazing jukebox. By the way, that thing was great.
Have you guys
it's
seen
all songs related to their current situation?
Yeah, I love that too.
Did you guys ever see the Portal short that got Trachtenberg notice and got him this job?
Yes.
So that is a very similar thing where you a woman wakes up in a room just like this, like a cement blocky kind of bunkery room, tied to a wall or something, and doesn't know how to get out of there. And then stuff happens with the portal gun, but it's almost exactly the same. It's almost like an homage. When I saw this, I was like, oh my gosh, he's making that scene again. And I think that this movie is whatever that was. It's like we took a video game in Portal, which is just about puzzles and mechanics and stuff, but we added this other genre to it, which is sci-fi terror, or I'm stuck somewhere and I don't know who's put me here. My memories lie, or whatever that genre, whatever you're fiddling with there, whether that's thriller or, kind of a horror movie or whatever. It just kind of did the same thing here. And I think it's extremely effective. Like I was always guessing about what's happening. I knew this was in the universe, and the name has Cloverfield in it. So
right, exactly. The name tells you that it's in universe, big universe, not direct seeing the Cloverfield monster, but certainly seeing the aftermath of, all right, we sent the Cloverfield monster down. He's running around New York. Cool. Let's send the rest of our ships and do some crop dusting.
That actually posed a question. That when it's the big flying thing and it opens its maw and she throws the cocktail in there.
Yeah.
Is that supposed to be a third style? Because the one on the ground that was chasing her, we'd seen those in the city in the old movie. They were the ones running around tackling people.
There was like a big monster, and then there were small ones, and we've seen the small ones.
Yeah, so the small ones chasing her around
a big
the
version
yard.
of the little bugs.
Okay, so that huge one that's flying That's a third tier.
I think so.
Okay.
I think you're right. I
That
think
wasn't
it's like-
supposed to be the monster.
It's basically the Zerg, and
Yeah.
that's the.
It really is.
That's an ultralisk. Fantastic.
It's an ultralisk. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I was fine with that. I kept wanting or expecting to see the big one. And that's crazy, obviously, because that one's in New York tearing everything apart.
Right, but you think there would be more than one big one. Like they'd have Goliaths like that they can drop on any big city like Houston or Biloxi or what was the other one? It wasn't Biloxi. It was Houston and
Baton Rouge.
Baton Rouge, yeah.
Which is Red Stick. It's an old Letterman joke. I have to tell every time it comes up.
I think a big question of the movie that you're asking while you're watching it is just how evil is Howard? Like you have to, because you're seeing him protect the people to a degree, but you're seeing him doing terrible things to them and behaving terribly. So you're like, how far is this going to go?
Right.
And I appreciated that, but it wears on me because I start asking a lot of questions as it goes, where he's not committing the ultimate violations just yet, and you're supposed to feel that tension, because like I said earlier, the bunker itself doesn't make a lot of sense to me. That these kinds of things are very tricky. You would never ever have an empty room. That's just crazy. It's like,
well, I'm assuming he cleared it out, right?
Right. He made a prison cell. In his bunker.
Yeah. But I mean,
he was already.
There's no indication that Emmett was living in there before he moved Michelle in. Like Emmett had his little space next to the fruit by the foot. And,
right. Well, we had already confirmed that he was a survivalist, but he's also an opportunist, and so he had used his survival bunker to kidnap and hold
Brittany
someone
/ Megan.
Right. So I mean, having an empty room inside of a psychopath survivalist also who kidnaps people, I thought that made sense.
I just figure you got extra room, so you never know. I could kidnap two ladies. So
I won't kidnap how many ladies I need in here.
I'm just saying that this movie let my mind wander a little bit too much.
Right.
And so I'm sitting there like, man, it's really a lot to deal with, both carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide. And like they kind of hand wave the air handling system, but boy, that's a really tricky thing going on there. And I'm just like, what about all the refuse? These guys are like making human waste, and they're also making waste. And like, I'm just
but that's what the acid's for, right?
And the movie's showing me, showing me a series of Chekhov's guns, which, by the way, I think if your story is in a bottle, Chekhov's guns are great. I think that's not a bad trope, because like I'm looking around, I'm seeing all the things, and I'm like, what's she gonna do with that shower curtain? It's I think that's cool.
Yeah, I like
when's that whiskey gonna come into play? I know.
She's got a bottle of Everclear or something.
She's got some whiskey.
Like the best Glen something Scotch, like single malt Scotch.
Was that good stuff?
I looked it up. The whiskey in question was like based on a real expensive liquor, but they changed.
It was a combination
of
two names.
Yeah,
right. It was
interesting.
Glen Goulin, like a combination of like
Glen Goulin.
Yeah.
But she took the good whiskey with her, but he left it out in the car.
Always be Molotoving.
Yep,
always be Molotoving.
Always have that ready. I mean, that's maybe my only beef, actually, is the very end and her hucking that in there. It was just very like, okay, we're gonna just have this moment.
Instant action hero.
Yeah.
That is the
she's
trope.
Sick of she keeps getting out of the frying pan into the bigger frying pan, and she's just finally like, know what? Bump this, yo, Molotov time.
It makes me wonder if the cellar. Obviously the cellar got modified with the alien stuff, or I assume with the alien stuff added to be Cloverfield universe. But was there a danger outside when it was just the when the movie was just the cellar, the screenplay?
I would think so when it was just the cellar, because I still think that is the big hook for this film. The reason I even think about picking this up is because of the twist, right? I think that's the only reason.
My understanding, I did a little digging on it, was that way that ended was more of that trope of, and I say trope because I've seen it, like most recently you see this in Silo. Silo's got a very similar vibe to it. It's like, is the outside really killing people or not? Are they making this up to control us or whatever? And she gets out there and has a series of events where she thinks she's let in whatever poison's there because she still sort of believes it, and then finds out, no, I'm breathing air, this is fine, and that's the end of your movie. That's kind of how they had it designed. I could see that working and, just being a fulfilling moment of he was just full of shit or whatever.
Yeah.
But
plus we got to know that he's not he also doesn't know everything. All he knows is what he's observed. He was in the Navy. He saw that this, that the air was bad, and so he retreated to meet his own expectations of what was going to happen, right? And so he was, I think that was normal.
How would you have this whole bunker that you've done and not have an antenna with a radio so you could?
He did have a radio.
Yeah, but it wasn't.
There was nobody speaking on it.
Was that,
or at least he was telling us they weren't because he was manipulating the situation.
Oh, that's right. He pointed at it and said, "Yeah, there. Look, see, nobody can get in, or it's not picking up anything."
Okay,
yeah,
that's right.
That's the deal. And he just the timing of this though too. So if we're to believe that he ran her off the road to kidnap her, which is what he admitted to later.
Well, he didn't say he kidnapped her. He said that he was trying to get back to his bunker and ran her off. But we all assume liar, pants on fire.
Well, later he kind of admitted it. He's like, I ran you off the road on purpose and I brought you here. And so if he did that,
right?
Did he just time that perfectly, or did he hear that morning? The air's going bad.
He's a bad guy.
No, I know, but luck. I'm talking about
luck.
You think that's luck? All right.
He gets luck. Bad guys get luck.
So he kidnaps his latest victim, takes her to the underground barn, and that day goes, and the aliens are also spraying today.
The timing is perfect. Yeah.
Okay.
And boy, he wanted to tell somebody too. Can you guys believe this? I can't believe. Who can I tell though?
Yeah.
They'll be mad if I tell them.
Yeah.
But the inside outside thing is that trope called nothing is scarier. And nothing is scarier is about your own imagination causing you fear. And so like the wonderful part of this movie is that you spend all the middle 80% wondering what's going on outside and knowing that it's probably not as bad as the characters fear that it is.
Right.
And this is in so many movies. This is every M. Night Shyamalan movie, every Alfred Hitchcock movie. Nothing is scarier than the fear that you're making it.
Yeah.
And
I thought of Shyamalan not just a few times in this, like many times.
Yeah.
It felt like one of his movies, even just tonally. And the nice thing was
a Split. Like the biggest comparison for me was Split.
Oh, right. At least see, and I feel like Split maybe got it better. Well, okay, these guys screwed themselves by calling themselves 10 Cloverfield Lane because everybody knew there'd be some alien connection eventually.
Right.
Like that was going to happen whether you knew about the movie or not. You saw the name and you went, that's like that monster movie. Okay, I see. But if they hadn't have done that and just called this 10 Coverville Lane,
I was curious about that.
They may not have had
more suspense.
Yeah, I would have been more freaked out.
You wouldn't be sure either. Yeah.
I was trying to remember. I didn't go back and look, but I was trying to remember. It feels like there was like some subterfuge of trying to not reveal it. It seemed like there was some things they were doing.
Well, there was during production.
In the release, like
in the marketing. In the marketing, it seems like there was some marketing that was misdirecting. I can't remember.
Well, I know that
I remember
I did look it up. They had. In fact, they just used the seller as the code name.
Right.
All through production until it finally went out. But how they handled ads and stuff, I don't know. I have no idea.
I was trying to remember. It seems like I remember being like, when I finally found, because I remember a bunch of viral stuff, a website that showed up, or maybe I'm thinking of Cloverfield. This seemed like it was some marketing misdirection though, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, Cloverfield had
a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah,
now I might be mixing the couple of things together. So yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember. I remember it being like, ooh, I should see that, and then I don't know why I didn't.
Yeah,
just never got around to it till now. Film Sack's like the ultimate reward for procrastinating.
Yeah, exactly. It's like not only do you get to watch the film you hadn't watched yet, but you get to talk about it with some friends afterwards.
Yeah. And it was, there again, part of me is like, man, you really retrofitted your ending to match this spiritual successor stuff, and you really are. Yeah. You're really trying to push my franchise buttons here on purpose. You're really trying to force this kind of.
Right.
But I really did enjoy it. Like, it's a very good movie. Just structurally, tonally, this was a great showcase for what Trachtenberg was capable of. And I think he did even more of it in Prey. Prey, while being a Predator movie, is also just kind of an amazing. I don't know. It's different. It's different than just Predator. It's something else.
So good.
I love all of it, but
Women in Trouble. There's a thing going there.
There's a common thing, sure.
And that it's so common that it's not a trope, right? It's like a plethora of tropes, but it still works. And like yes, you can question putting this thing into Cloverfield the brand or not, but that overall character is kidnapped. And she is going to turn into Ellen Ripley along the way. That
she does it right up the front, man. She's like, because I was totally impressed that she didn't waste any time with the bullshit. Yeah. She's like, I got an IV, it's a hook. I'm pulling the phone over here. I got a crutch. Guess what? Spear thing.
One match. Let's burn something so that I can get him to come in.
I'll burn this whole mofo down before you keep me in this little place.
Yeah,
and it actually made me forget that 220 somethings, with or without a broken elbow. 220 somethings can overpower a middle-aged man. I'm sorry.
Hell yeah, especially a big old fat one.
They can take him out anytime they want, but the movie doesn't want to depict it that way. The movie hobbles them a little bit so that you buy into that they have to commit a great big act of subterfuge to overcome.
Plus, Goodman's a tall guy, he's a big guy, he's kind of scary, and when you hear him chucking downstairs to come just check on her and she's trying to hide her shit. There's something about that, man. Woo.
Oh God, yeah, totally.
I don't want that.
I did feel like that they kind of helped a little bit with making Emmett hurt in the beginning, especially Emmett have that broke arm the whole time. I'm like, he's like a little baby bird with a broken wing. He can't quite get into the scuffles.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I think that stuff was good. I mean, again, everything in the bunker, amazing. I think. The idea that something outside is going to kill you, really great, very Silo and all that. I love that stuff.
Yeah.
And then subvert all my expectations, even within the bunker, where you're like, oh no, maybe he's okay. He's just kind of weird and slow and paranoid, but actually he's fathery and wants to help. And then you're like, oh no, he doesn't, because now what's his name's in a barrel of acid, and we're all done with that.
Yeah.
And he clearly only sees her as a girl and can't even think of the word woman.
Yeah, it's impossible for him. It's just freaky as hell. And then they go outside, and you go, all right, here's the part where they connect the dots to the thing I assumed this was about.
But isn't it clever that at the beginning of the movie she's fleeing some sort of trouble, she falls into even worse trouble, and then finally escapes it, and wow, way worse trouble.
Way worse trouble.
This woman's cursed.
And we get the the greatest reaction, I think, in the movie is her going, "Oh, come on!"
Yeah, that was great.
Right.
Yeah.
She doesn't talk for the first 11 minutes. By the way, it's the other thing.
I love the opening. Now it's just tonally setting what's going on, because there's no words, there's no sound. It's just music over some really cool imagery of her just packing all her shit up, and you're going, oh, what's she doing? Oh, there's a picture of them together. Oh, she must be upset. Oh, what's she gonna do? And I like that.
No, the perfect way to explain the entire situation is her walking out, leaving the keys next to a ring. It's like, okay, that tells you everything.
Oh, I got everything I need to know.
Yeah. I like that kind of storytelling. It means that they assume the audience has some semblance of let us
right.
You don't have to fill in every blank and have dialogue for everything.
Right. Yeah.
Just some of these subtle things.
I like to feel smart and like I'm in on the problem solving. And that really speaks to me. Even though everybody saw it, does it make me really smart? Not really, but it makes me feel.
It makes you feel smart and engaged.
Exactly.
Yeah. Look at me, I'm smart. I figured out a thing.
It's true about movies, TV, video games. They all kind of have this need to intuit things.
Yes,
that's why. I mean, look, I know people. They know this is a trope, and they're tired of me by now. But look, that's what I love. All my talk about Fury Road, it mostly boils down to this. that thing world builds without spoon feeding it to me. It says there's this place called Gastown, and I am left with a billion great ideas about how shitty that place must be, or what it must be like in that world.
Gastown.
And I love stuff like that. And this movie's good at that. It
Let me
doesn't
fill in the blanks.
And it can go so terribly wrong, right?
Yeah.
When you have basically fanboys making your TV shows and your movies, they can ask the questions that the audience is asking and then try to answer them. And you don't want that.
No.
Right?
Yeah.
So like my favorite example of a fanboy making movies and TV shows is Dave Filoni, right? And sometimes when people ask the question, why didn't anybody like the Book of Boba Fett? He explained too much is the answer. He explained too much. And this movie could have gone really far on how do these kids not overpower Howard, right? Like, he always sleeps behind a locked door. Doesn't that give him the run of the rest of the place? No, we should show him locking them up and then locking himself up when he goes to sleep. You don't need to do any of that.
Yeah.
And by not doing all of that, you give me a much heightened sense of alarm.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think it's just a great example of great editing and great directing and taking a simple script and having the right actors. Like, I think Mary Elizabeth Winstead, who said, well, according to this, they had no one else in mind. She was handpicked for this. I think she was perfect for it.
She was perfect, yeah.
I don't feel like, she was having quite a year that year. That was her Fargo year. That was her year of like 4 other movies. She was having a time.
When she first came out, I remember thinking like 15 years ago, Mary Elizabeth Winstead is not Timu at the time, but you know what I mean. She's poor man's Aubrey Plaza.
Oh, I see.
And so that still was in my head, and I was like, I wonder if Aubrey Plaza could have pulled off this movie.
Maybe.
It's funny because you get both of them in Scott Pilgrim, and they have a very the attitude of Mary Elizabeth Winstead in other things is very similar to Aubrey Plaza's vibe in Scott Pilgrim. That kind of disaffected Daria kind of whatever.
Yeah, I feel like we don't see as much of her anymore, but we do. It's just stuff I haven't been watching.
Yeah, it was that Star Wars, was it Ahsoka that we had?
Mandalorian also, right? I'm pretty sure she's in the film.
She's probably in the film, yeah.
Let's see, as that character with the big Twilight head.
So. I don't think she's in the film.
I thought she showed up in, well, maybe it was just in the show, or maybe she never did and I'm making this up. It's entirely possible.
She's definitely in Ahsoka, but I think that's it.
Okay. I liked her in that a lot.
And
the hand that rocks the cradle, that thing. I heard that was bad.
I never saw that.
Yeah, I heard it wasn't very good, but I'm sure she was good because she's always good.
Was she the Jennifer Jason Leigh character, or was she the Bridget Fonda character?
Jennifer.
She was a
you're thinking a white.
character.
You're
thinking of a single white female. You're right.
Right. Very similar vibe, though.
Similar vibe. Yeah, that's right. It was Rebecca De Mornay and
the lady we can't remember. I think she plays the lady we can't remember. Because according to these screenshots, she's like the mother of the kid. So.
Annabelle Sciorra? Was that her?
Oh, was that her? Might have been. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, so in this one, it's Micah Monroe plays the psycho. Polly. Okay. Yeah, and then Mary Elizabeth Winstead is the Morales mom.
Okay, gotcha.
Is there a doctor because in that movie Q is the doctor and he
gets a shoe in the head. Or no, that was single white female. That was single white female. That was the dude from Wings.
Yeah, Wings guy. That's so funny. These two movies are very juxtaposed.
I completely conflate those two. 100%.
I don't think you're wrong in doing it. They're similar. Anyway, that's was my point with that. Oh, I guess I don't know where we were going with that. There we were going somewhere. Oh, I know.
What we got there.
John Goodman was wearing a Missouri T-shirt in this thing for the whole movie, and I was curious why. Turns out, John Goodman was born and raised in Missouri and is a big fan of his home state.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Is he a Kansas City guy or is he a St. Louis guy?
He's a Dapper Dan man. No,
he's a Dapper Dan man. Yeah.
He is. I don't know. Who knows who he roots for?
Who knows? Nobody knows.
But I know this. This threw me a little bit because while I was watching, I was looking at his credits and like you do while we're doing this.
Yeah.
And I went, oh, all right. Let's see. In Oh Brother Where Art Thou, he plays Big Dan.
Right. The Cyclops.
Big Dan Teasdale or whatever. And I realized, well, wait a minute. This is not the first time he's played Dan. He was Dan on Roseanne.
Yeah, Dan Connor.
That's right. Yeah.
And I thought, did they do that on purpose? Like, did the Coen brothers go, it'd be funny I assume they finish each other's sentences. I don't know how the work. But they go back and forth and say, "Gosh, we are going to call you Dan."
The alternating words is what I'm assuming you were doing there. Yeah,
that's what I was
Every syllable.
to do. That's terrible.
He does get a lot of really normal, common names, right? He's Walter. He's Frank King in Trumbo, like Frank. This is the John Goodman. John Goodman doesn't get to play somebody named Peabody. He only gets to be someone named Joe. You know?
Yeah,
Right,
I feel like he is one of those guys. We are going to look back on his career whenever the day comes that he leaves this planet, and we're going to hold him in the highest regard. His career is so big and so interesting, and so willing to try new stuff. Like if you just look at his list of films, like his Dr. Eli Gemstone and the Righteous Gemstones is like absolutely perfect because of casting. He's so good in it. But then he'll go and do, I'm in the Monarch Legacy of Monsters. I'm also over here on the Connors reboot. I'm doing some Disney Dreamlight Valley because they needed some James P. Sullivan monster voices. Like he's just everywhere. And I don't know. I have mad respect for him. He's great.
Yeah, he is great.
He looks a little weird now, but hey, that's better than dying early.
He really, I mean, and he's healthier, I'm sure, because of the weight loss, right?
Yeah.
Like we're gonna have John Goodman for a longer time because of that.
Right.
But it is a jarring look when you see him now.
Yeah.
We probably should put was it Matinee on our future film set list?
I love Matinee. Matinee was awesome.
Yeah.
We talk about King Ralph. It's a little too much of a comedy, maybe.
I have and I actually ordered the laser disc the last time we talked about it.
If you're getting it, we may want to do that one day. Maybe.
Yeah, I've already got it. I've had it for a while now.
It's funny. You're the person who bought the King Ralph laser disc.
I am the one. I have the one and only copy.
That's right. It just like has
King
a
Ralph.
handwritten on the cover. 1/1.
Yeah.
One of one.
Yeah. He was also somebody else does it now. I think John. What's his name? Anyway, on Futurama, he was Santa Claus for the Robot Santa Claus episode.
That's right.
Yeah.
Love that one. It's so
That's
good.
such a good one.
Yeah.
I watch that every Christmas.
Yeah.
I've got 3 pieces of John Goodman trivia for you guys.
Give it.
Oh,
First and foremost, he's hosted Saturday Night Live 13 times.
Not bad.
Wow.
Holy
Puts him
He
way up
must
there.
live close by, and when somebody
Right.
has to cancel out at the last second,
Yes,
Lord
used to.
Michael calls him up. Yeah.
Used to. He was getting to host regularly because he lived in New York City. He came up in New York City with Bruce Willis. They were both going to the same auditions together when they were young actors and didn't have any credits yet. But that was not one of my pieces of trivia I wanted to give you. You know what? It's actually a really, really good one because, like,
It is a good piece of trivia.
yeah, if you see a lot of movies and TV shows over the years, you come to kind of identify actors as New York City or Hollywood.
Sure.
Like they're kind of one or the other. Mostly, you know, there's a lot of exceptions, but like John Goodman feels New York City, but he actually ends up in Los Angeles and making a home and a life for himself there. And he bought a very expensive mansion in Pacific Palisades at some point. So that means that John Goodman lost his house last year in the Pacific Palisades.
Did all of
fire.
that go down? All of it burn? I didn't know every. Oh, geez.
There were a few places that didn't get burned down, which is really weird to see. Like there'll be 1 out of 50 homes that looks like the fire just went right around it.
Yeah.
But when you burn down this massive, it's not even neighborhood; it's this huge area.
Right.
When you burn it down, everybody loses everything. Like you don't get to say to 5 people, you can just go back to living there.
Yeah, that's true. That level of devastation. That was so bad. Oh my gosh. So bad.
John Goodman lost it all in January 2025. So what's next? It sounds like he's kind of retired.
Well, what's the last? Well, he's got upcomings.
He's got some things that are coming.
Yeah, something called Digger. Oh, the Digger thing with shit. Tom Cruise. He's like a balding guy with a shovel.
Oh, really?
Yeah, something. So apparently, at the Cannes or somewhere, they showed that, and people lost their shit. They think it's the coolest thing ever. I don't know what to make of that, but then the Hollywood Hitman, he plays himself. I don't know what that is, and then Hindsight the Day Before, which is He plays Justice Oliver Wendell Holmes Jr.
Right. No, that's a podcast.
Oh, it's okay. It's an audio series.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe he's slowing down. I don't know. Let's see. What's his born in 52? It'd put him at 60. I mean, pushing 70.
74?
74? Holy shit. Yeah. I mean, if I were John Goodman, I'd chill. You know, you don't need to. You don't need to do anything.
You know, they wrapped the Connors around the same time he lost his house, and it just sounds like in the recent interviews and stuff, it sounds like he's winding down his career.
It's interesting he's doing so much voice stuff, like the Cinnamon Bear, a holiday adventure podcast series. He plays
Cinnamon Bear
and Presto the Magician.
The thing about this movie is, you talk to people like my wife, her big memory of this movie was John Goodman, of course. And he kind of is the point of it, but really Mary Elizabeth Winstead carries the movie. Like he kind of has it easy. You can imagine any number of frightening people playing that role. Like you can just pick your favorite weirdo actor, right?
Okay. Done. All right, now what?
Who'd you pick? Who'd you pick?
I can't. If I tell you, then it won't come true.
It won't happen.
True? Yeah, it's like your wish.
For me, it'd be like, you could say John Malkovich could do it. Buscemi'd be great.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
There's a handful of people who'd be really
quiet, crazy.
Isn't that basically the premise of that movie with you were just talking about the Shyamalan movie?
Split.
Split. What's his name? The big muscly Split guy.
Yes.
Big muscly Split guy.
We saw him in Wanted, and we've done other. He's Professor X. I can't think of his name. Yeah. Anyway, that guy.
His name is
James McAvoy.
Thank you.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So James, sorry,
it's driving me nuts. I couldn't come up with it.
But he's in that recent-ish last year or two thing where he was a psycho friend or neighbor, and
he always plays a psycho. I saw a clip of him like on a beach somewhere.
Speak No Evil. That's it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that was so good. Like the
I thought you were the one that told me about it. I think.
Yeah, it was like was it? People show up at an Airbnb or something, and he's already there.
Yeah, or they're friends that are like, "Come out and see us in our villa in Europe or whatever."
Yes,
something like. I didn't see it because it looked like it would stress me out.
It's the what about? Well, it's not really the what about Bob because nobody really likes him. There's that whole thing where it's like only one person is not freaked out or is freaked out by the person, but. Mackenzie Davis.
That's who was in that. I love her.
Yes, she's great. Yeah.
Yeah, she could set a fire under my house and it would all burn down, and I'd still say, "Thank you very much, ma'am. Where's your next movie?"
Yeah.
But
I love her.
For this role of Howard, you can imagine so many people. You can imagine Javier Bardem. You can imagine Christoph Waltz. You can imagine Kevin Spacey. Like, just let it go nuts. Imagine Gary Oldman in this role.
It'd be really good.
Yeah. Yeah.
All of those are a slightly different movie. It's just a little different than what we got.
Yeah.
Because of John Goodman's eyes, I think. And I don't know if he was directed or if he invented this, but he has this thing where he looks down and to the left a lot in this movie.
Yeah.
And
like a real sociopath.
Yeah,
right.
It's unsettling how, he's psychotic, but the way he's portraying it is not necessarily through shouting. It's this he does shout like 3 times, but he's looking down and to the left, and it's so John Goodman. I really, really appreciate that Dan Trachtenberg got this performance.
Yeah, I agree. It's really, really good. And we catch him one last time before he goes on that diet, because that's kind of what this was. I was going to say something else about that. Now I can't remember what it was, and that's great. Good job, Scott. Way to
go. Way
to get that one done. It was actually kind of interesting, and now I can't remember. Anyway,
how'd y'all react to the very last shot where it's dark, there's lightning, and you see the spaceship right above our hero?
Yeah.
There's pretty cool. Yeah,
it was a cool effect. Yeah, for sure.
A little too we're making sequels. And then not making them, you know what I mean? That's the only thing that kind of bugged me, is I felt like I was getting one of those endings, but it was still cool. I mean, that was a really cool visual for sure.
Yeah.
And Matt Reeves It feels like anybody who touches the Cloverfield series goes on to do some rad shit.
Yeah.
Because after the first one, Matt Reeves goes on to do those amazing Apes reboot series. Well, two of them anyway.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And then now the Batman, and now the Batman 2 is in production. And many people, myself included, think that might be the best Batman ever made. I really like that movie a lot. And, Trachtenberg swoops in, gets his directorial debut. Now he's off with 2 of these Predator movies, plus a bunch of other projects like, Boys Pilot, all that. Pretty good run for the Cloverfield alumni.
Not
all right.
bad.
Yeah.
I like them all too. I kind of will watch these guys make whatever. It was weird seeing the old iOS version in this.
Yeah.
And I know that 2016 is a long time ago now.
Yeah.
It's like 10 years ago. It doesn't feel like 10 years ago.
No.
And so I go back and I see this thing and I'm just like, oh yeah, we were still doing that skeuomorphic weird thing. Yeah. Like it was, we were well into the app phase. It's just that, I don't know, we just hadn't done that flat, more colorful, bright thing. So the YouTube app was still that old brown TV or whatever it was.
Yeah. That's right.
It was weird to see.
That was really weird.
Yeah, that threw me off. And then also, let's see. Oh, I wrote in here, I just wrote that I think the flying alien was a little too, like I would have preferred the big dude. Like this, yeah. Even though that thing could probably with 1 foot destroy the entire compound or whatever, and maybe that was the reason. I don't know. But if you really want to tie this in, that movie's a monster movie about a giant monster that poops out little monsters. Yeah. And that's the monster, right?
And there's your monster.
And this one says, well, no, we also got these little aircraft green smoke making ones. And that's fine, but now I don't have any follow-on on that, right? Because, maybe maybe the Netflix thing did, and I just need to see it. I don't know. But is that worth sacking? Do you guys think we should finish this thing out?
I think it's a little...
I think we should.
You think so?
Yeah.
I enjoyed it, but it's kind of it's not nearly as much fun as this one. There are moments where it's like, yeah, but it's a much slower ride.
I mean, is it good sci-fi or is it?
I thought it was good sci-fi, but once again, I like boring crap. Like I like Prometheus, but most of Prometheus is a slow ride with an occasional. Ooh, that was cool.
Yeah, I love Prometheus.
And then good movies can make previous ones look bad, right? It's like Alien Covenant, right? It's good. And then you sort of reassess things that came before it.
Yeah, that's true.
I just for this movie, there's really no reassessing the first one. It's just like they're so distinct. They're
they're largely
universe.
unrelated.
Yes, which I think I like about it. Even though now we know it was sort of shoehorned, made retcon to make it work.
After
but
the fact, Cloverfielded.
Yeah, and I kind of like that because it stops the temptation to repeat yourself.
Yeah.
And just do the same movie again,
According, as of last year, we still are on deck to get a true Cloverfield, the original movie sequel. Who's
something with film with a real camera instead of that shaky cam? That'd be great.
Who knows? Yeah, probably. There is let's see here. The director that's been tied to it is
it's Babak Anvari.
Babak Anvari, yes, exactly.
I don't know who that is. Who did that? Or who
I read about this in like Variety or something.
Yeah, he's a horror film director, but he just released Hallow Road last year, which was one of these movies that I saw the trailer and said, "Ooh, I'd like to see this." And then Tina elbows me and says, "No."
Yeah, this is one of her no's.
I'm going to say I'm using my veto.
Yeah, no. Yeah, it doesn't sound like it'd be. I'm looking at it now. Kim wouldn't like this either.
Yeah,
I might check it out though.
But psychological horror film, which is usually it's got that Rosamund Pike and Matthew Reese.
Hell yeah,
Reese's
Pieces.
Yep.
When you see somebody named Rise, Brian Dunaway, do you say Reese?
Yeah.
You mix
Rise?
Yeah.
Why would I say it?
Because you do Reese's instead of Reese's.
I don't think those are connected, but sure, I don't think so.
When you were in school, and they'd send you outside to play with balls for a half hour or whatever between stuff, and you're in elementary school, did you go to recess or Reese's?
Neither. I went to the smoking area.
Okay. Nice.
Nice, dude.
Yeah.
By the way, it's one of my favorite John Goodman moments. This one right here. This photo.
Oh, right. Yeah.
You remember this from the King Kong deal? and he gets gets killed by a giant, or I think he got killed by it.
I think so. Yeah, this is what, Monster Island or
Kong Island, right?
Kong Island.
The
Kong
one,
Monster Island.
yeah, the one with Loki was in it.
I thought it was Skull Island.
Oh, you're right. You're
Yes.
right.
Skull Island.
Now who's going out just to the smoking area?
Well, listen, I confused Mystic River and Virgin River earlier.
Very
so
different. Very
whatever,
different.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. Kong's Skull Island. Yes.
All right.
Kong's : Skull Island.
Kong's colon.
Just, you know what? Have it
Good
be
old Kong's
that.
colon. Yeah, I think Kong's colon is the
Yeah,
best.
have that. Have like Fede Alvarez or some horror
yeah.
director make it. I'll go see that movie.
It's funny how the movie poster, I'm going to put it in our Discord, but the movie poster for Kong's Skull Island looks like it's accidentally 2 movies.
Oh, yeah. It does. It looks like what if Black Hawk Down and
Right. And then
I don't know.
bunch of people walking in water.
Yeah. Boy, that is a weird cut of color if you're looking
My
at it.
first thought was Thin Red Line, and I have no idea if that poster is actually anything like this, but it's the first thing I thought of. Was
Yeah.
My
Thin Red Line.
favorite death for any character ever, or a character actor. I can't think of his name. Freaking the guy. I love him. He's in everything. Come on,
Okay.
Scott.
Favorite
he's
death.
everything.
Something else.
Give us something else.
that he was in.
Oh gosh. Fargo season 3.
Okay. All right.
You know what I'm
That's
talking
helpful.
about.
Jason Schwartzman.
No. All right. Let me think of something better. Oh, he's Nucky
Oh, no, that
Thompson's
was
brother
4,
in Boardwalk Empire. Shea Wiggum.
Shea Wiggum, yeah.
Shea Wiggum is
Oh, you said
is
3
a
times.
military guy in Kong Skull Island, and at some point he gets like tail whipped into the side of the side
that's
of
a great one.
of a mountain where his bomb he was about to throw goes off when he hits it.
It's one of those great deaths.
It's
Yeah, like
amazing, dude.
he like sets it up so long. It's like I'm gonna do it, and then it's like, oh well, yeah, that was unfortunate.
I love it. Huge fan.
He is great.
Here's
Silver
my
Linings Playbook is my first thing I think of when I see Shea Wiggum.
interesting. Never did see that. I might as
good.
well if I had.
He's kind of a fan of the Steelers. Eagles. Oh crap.
Eagles.
Philadelphia Eagles or the Pittsburgh
It's either the
Steelers.
I don't know,
Pittsburgh
man. I don't
Steelers.
like any of those teams.
You and Shea Wiggum would not get along.
You would not get along. Well, or you might get along great if it's the other one.
Yeah, actually, you know what? I just want to say a good friend of mine lives a couple blocks away, neighbor, friend, and he's an Eagles fan, and I am not. And you can bridge those gaps, friends. You can overcome this sort of thing.
Oh yeah, team
It was
sports.
the Eagles.
Oh, is it the Eagles? Okay.
Yeah, it's the Eagles.
Yeah, I like Shea Wiggum a lot. Anyway, the point is, what did I find gross?
Yuck.
More of a yuck than a gross. But do you have any idea what I thought was gross?
Having to take a poop loudly with just a shower curtain between you and the other people you're living with.
Yeah, I thought of that, and it's up there, but it didn't
I-
quite make the cut. Yeah.
I could only imagine how gross it was for her to crawl through that air duct.
That's so hard.
The inside of that, it wasn't presented as such, but it should have been so dirty, and the dirt is oily, and it should have just been awful for her.
Yeah, I feel like Die Hard gave us a unrealistic expectation for how clean or dirty a vent would be.
Yeah.
And it's
Well, that's a
little-
brand new addition in the Nakatomi Plaza.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah,
they were
that's
just remodeling those levels or something.
That's
right?
true. They were the building. I think the whole building was new, and they were just finishing the top
That's
floors
right.
or
Yes,
whatever.
that's right.
So you're right.
Yeah.
It's like new HVAC.
Yeah.
Not that dirty.
But that is my. I don't have a lot of phobias. That is a big one. Is crawling
That's a
through
big one.
something like that. Yeah.
Like so small, yeah.
So you couldn't have done
No.
500 miles of shit and come out clean on the
I
other
could
side.
not. I could not. I need if I'm not the only way to make sure I don't get freaked out is if I'm able to turn around in the space
Okay.
Yeah.
and not just like go all the way up to this place where there's a little room
Yeah.
where you can do turn on
I
and
was
off the,
so- I
the
was
unit and then come back
so-
down the other way.
Well, then I will
was
not
so
be a
relieved.
bad. I will not be a bad friend and send you some caving videos that I know of that are
Oh, thank you. I
really
appreciate that.
bad.
Yeah.
What movie is that?
That's
Did we
why
watch that
The
cave
Descent-
movie?
Or well,
The
we-
Descent.
Oh, the
Yeah,
descent. Yeah,
that was
anything
rough.
that has. I don't mind like when there's open space in a cave, but when those guys that squirm into those little holes that are barely big
Yes.
enough for them to do anything and they can't go back. F
Yeah.
that
Nope,
shit.
Nope. That
Yeah,
is,
yeah.
I'm out for that.
Ugh.
Yeah, exactly.
Why would you do that?
Because let's say you get stuck. You cannot go forward. You cannot go back. You are,
Yeah, F
you're
that.
done.
F everything
Or there's
about
cave
that.
in. Oh.
Yeah, it's some bullshit. It's some
Yeah.
bullshit. We need to see a movie about being buried alive. There are a few of those. We've never
Yeah.
done
Let's
those.
We
see the
watched one
with,
like years ago.
Did we
Yeah.
watch the Kiefer Sutherland one with Jeff
Oh.
Bridges? Vanished?
No.
Vanishing?
Ooh, did we see that? I'm not sure. We did watch the one with the voodoo magic in it, and he gets buried alive.
I don't remember that. What was it? It's one of
Now you're making me forget stuff. He was he was the guy from ID4, right? Wasn't that who ended up getting
Bill
buried
Pullman.
alive?
Yeah, I
Was
don't
it
think
Bill
we
Pullman?
watched that though. That's the this is a movie for
The
sure.
voodoo
I saw
thing.
it. It wasn't as a kid a lot.
I thought we watched some film sack here. What the crap's the name of that movie? I mean, it was everybody was like, it was like, oh, this is the most terrifying movie
It was a
ever.
big deal at the time.
What was the stupid name? It was like,
It was back when Bill Pullman looked like his son Lewis.
yeah.
Yeah, here we go. That movie was called
Here it is. The Serpent in the Rainbow.
Serpent in the Rainbow.
The rainbow.
Yeah, we haven't done that.
No.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That is a shame.
We
should do
ought
that
to do that. That's a weird one, and it's perfect for the show. We should do it.
Hey, it's on Amazon Prime.
His first role, by the way, was in 1986 on an episode of Cagney and Lacey.
Oh,
Good job, Bill Pullman.
Yeah.
Now you're the
And
president.
Tim Robbins, main guy in that, right?
Oh, was it? I didn't know that.
Or am I confusing with something else?
Wait, you're talking about Cagney and Lacey, or
No, Serpent in the Rainbow.
Oh, Serpent in the Rainbow.
Slurp in the Rainbow.
Slurping that rainbow, buddy. He was. Let's see, who was in that? Kathy Tyson, Zake Moki.
Yeah. What I'm trying to remember what the movie is that I'm thinking of that is similar in title to that.
Serpent in the Rainbow being the title. Let's see.
Yeah, similar to that, like the blank and the blank, and it was
The blank and the blank.
The big
The layer of the
special effect
the
is
white
that,
worm.
is that he's at a party, he's watching people, but their heads are moving really fast, and all you're seeing is like a blur of their heads moving really fast.
Oh, why
The
is it-
ladder? Ooh, the ladder.
Jacob's
Something on the
ladder?
Oh, the Jacob and the ladder is the one I'm
Jacob's
thinking
in
of.
the
yes.
ladder. I love that.
The Jacob and the ladder is clearly what I'm thinking of.
No, but
yes.
it's not Jacob's ladder, though, right?
It is Jacob's.
Oh, it
ladder.
is Jacob's ladder.
It's exactly what I'm thinking of, and I was thinking that it was
Holy
in that format, that title format.
Okay.
Is everybody experiencing high levels of pollen in their area? I always find this time of year. No, I'm serious.
Yeah, we are. Everybody
I have
does.
trouble.
Yeah.
I have trouble remembering things, and it's such a weird thing.
Oh,
Also,
pollen! I'm telling you, pollen is like one mutation
the
away
worst.
from The Last of Us or something.
Yeah,
like it's
the
just
mist. What was it?
Yeah.
Is that the one with
no the
the
happening.
trees come after us? The happening. That was
Yeah.
it. See what happens?
Yep.
The trees are winning.
Yep.
The
I'm
trees
I'm
are
trying to remember shit. People, by the way, exactly.
Hey, Paul Winifield's in Serpent in
Yeah.
the Rainbow. That means he might go Shaka when the walls fell. Or it's not Shaka. is it?
Right.
It is shocking.
It is.
This podcast will be analyzed for years and how
this is like-
pollen affects.
This is exactly
the
the
human brain.
moment that all four
Yeah.
members of Film Sack lost their minds.
Yep.
This is you can actually pinpoint
Yep.
the exact moment.
Yep. Next week we're watching Limitless because now we've fully
Oh,
lost
yeah,
it.
let's watch it again.
Next week and every week thereafter,
Yeah.
we're
Yeah.
gonna watch Limitless.
Oh, I guess I never told you what grossed me out. It's that gnarly breakfast Goodman kept bringing her.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That looked like shit.
Like oatmeal, but not
Survivalist
the right
food,
color
right?
for oatmeal.
Yeah, it was all wrong colors. Now, when they ate dinner and stuff, everything looked good. They had chicken and,
Yeah.
stuff, veggies, whatever. But this thing was
That,
like,
that garbage came right out of the Jim Baker prepper bucket.
Yeah. Now,
Yep.
we had talked about earlier about Chekhov's gun. They never done Chekhov's table or coaster. Did I miss it? Did I go to a pee break or something? I could have swore that was an issue because he made really big deal out of don't
Putting-
get a ring stain on my table. You better use a coaster, right?
That wasn't about the table. That was about his state of mind. And
Okay.
I'm amazed at how many of these kinds of discussions this movie spawned in my life. Like when I saw it when it came out, there was all kinds of discussion about this. And then yesterday I sat with my family and we just talked about it for hours.
Yeah.
Is John Goodman on the spectrum? Is he bipolar? Like what's the deal? And like it's never really explained, of course, but it is also never really entirely hinted at. Like his concern about staining the table. My mom had that concern.
Yeah.
You know, like that was a big deal in my house growing up.
Yeah, and she wasn't threatening you with a vat of acid. She was just your mom.
So it's like these are little clues, but they're also just the character. You know, he is just this way, and that makes it a really like a really great characterization for me, because like we love to diagnose these kinds of people. Like he's psycho. He deserves diagnosis, but also the movie is telling another story. Like the movie isn't telling you really about him, right? It's telling you about his final days, right? But
before his acid bath.
Yeah. But and by the way, how is that not what grossed you out the most, Scott? Perchloric acid to the face?
I mean, it's again, special effects and implications are less gross to me than like when someone puts a finger in somebody's mouth or something. I'll take an acid bath over that any day. For some reason, that grosses me out more. But I just remembered I was going to tell you guys earlier, and then I fell off of it. And it was something Dunaway said. You said he's a real sociopath, and that triggered something in me because I don't even know why I did this, but I looked up the other day the difference between a sociopath and a psychopath. And sociopaths don't care about your feelings.
Right.
Psychopaths will kill you.
Right. They're manipulative.
Yeah.
They're going to do something.
Right. It's more. Yeah. It was weird because I didn't know there was a distinction because I hear people swap it back and forth. Yeah. And now knowing that it's
history.
Like, I'm like, well, plus it just hit me. I'm like, man, I sure know a lot of sociopaths.
Yeah, I've looked that up before as well because I also was like, oh, am I using that correctly? And at some point in time, I'm like, I guess I'm just a sociopath.
Yeah,
I don't care.
And then what's basically John Goodman is both. He's a combination of both, which probably means it's a third diagnosis of some sort. But again, I think the casting is really strong.
And there's tons of different varieties, right? So like you have a misanthrope, right? Misanthropy is when you kind of hate people, but you're not necessarily acting on it.
Right. You just avoid them or, whatever, which sometimes I do that. So I guess I'm a misanthrope part-time.
We all have a little bit in us, right?
I think so. Right. A little bit of the old leave me alone. I'm on this couch for a reason.
Some more than others.
Yeah, that's true. We don't know who you're talking about, but that's totally fine that we don't.
Yeah.
Let's get on to the clips. I have a tiny amount.
You have any Frank and Mildred screaming?
No, I didn't. Not so much. But I did do as best I could. The problem with this movie is it's extremely well acted and understated, and there's just not a lot of like wackadoo dialogue in it. Right. So I got what I got, and we'll start with this. Bradley Cooper showing up.
Look, we had an argument. Couples fight. That is no reason to just leave everything behind.
Oh, A Star is Born. You can feel it.
Yeah. Behind.
Never saw that either. Is that good?
Oh, it's worth seeing. Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
I should probably see that.
You should see that.
I've seen the old 70s Streisand one. Saw that.
Oh.
That was, I think,
Why
as a
would you
kid.
do that to yourself?
I don't know. I was a kid, and I don't remember it being, I don't remember anything about it. Just remember that they loved each other. That's all I remember.
Chris Christopherson.
Yeah.
And,
Here's something about Howard.
You need to eat, you need to sleep, and you need to start showing me a little bit of appreciation. My name is Howard, by the way.
Okay.
That's one of my favorite lines.
That's great.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty duplicitous. Bathroom time.
Let's go. Bathroom time.
All right. Most of this is him, I guess.
Can't afford wasted flushes.
Yeah.
Wasted flushes is my favorite.
2,000 wasted flushes.
That made me feel like a kid again because my dad was always like, don't flush more than once. I'm like, well, Dad, the poo didn't go down.
It did. Well, that's the poo's problem, sir. Son, get on.
He was so weirdly cheap about flushing toilets. I don't know why.
Yeah. I think it was probably like drummed into his head by his parents, right? Like, you know.
And they would have been
for the war or something.
Yeah,
the war effort.
They would, because they would have experienced aftermath of that. They would have had it. They probably were around. Well, I guess my great grandmother was around during the Depression, so I think some of that carries forward. For us, it was like there's Chinese kids starving, eat your whole plate. And I saw a comedian the other day that made a really good point. sometimes, so you hear that your whole life, and some people really take it to heart, and now they've got these habits where they're like, well, I got to eat this entire giant portion, and I really shouldn't, but I can't leave it because this is pounding into your head. You have to once in a while stop and go, what did I actually do for the starving kids in China? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
That supposedly existed.
You ate.
Didn't do anything.
Maybe if you wouldn't eat, maybe if you would stop eating all the food, maybe they would have some to eat.
Exactly, they'd have more food.
Well, that's the idea, but the food that you have that you left on your plate is in your house and was never going to go
that's
anywhere.
what I'm
out
saying.
Out of respect for those who don't have food, eat all your food.
That's right. But my retort would be to mom, well, maybe you shouldn't make so much. And then, maybe
Why don't you
those
send
poor
them some of
Chinese
this?
children.
Yeah.
You capitalist? Oh.
Yeah, Mom. It's such a weird thing to grow up with. Anyway, he doesn't think that what's his name's funny.
Your humor is not funny. I don't appreciate it while I'm trying to eat, and neither does Michelle. Now, please shut up and let us eat in peace.
Jeez.
That is the most uncomfortable thing you can ever be around, is someone joking and someone else just getting real serious and saying shit ain't funny.
Yep.
Whew, that is uncomfortable.
Yep. I don't want to be around that situation.
Nope.
At this stage of my life, I will actively avoid those situations.
Yeah, you
I
might
will
grab
get up
some
and
keys
leave.
off. Grab some keys and run.
Yeah, grab some keys, slice him in the face with whatever she had. I forgot. Was it the key?
Bottle.
Oh, the bottle. That's right.
She said, "Boink."
That's right. Gave him a little forehead bumpy.
Then she had
Owie.
then she had to sew it up herself.
Yeah, like a thing.
Like a thing. Pollen, the great equalizer.
Yep. We're all doomed. We're all doomed.
Here is, what's this? I did this twice.
Your humor is not funny.
Okay, I don't know why I did that, but I know why, because I use it
It's
for
so that
later.
we could hear John Goodman's food in his mouth as he's talking too.
Yep. Then finally, I guess I didn't get her talking at all, which is weird. But here's there's lots of this in this movie, these moments of cut to blank, and I kind of like it. Here's an example. I like that stuff.
Okay.
And the camera goes blank. She's knocked out.
Yeah.
I think that was the sound of her truck. Yeah.
Truck hitting the ground.
Yeah.
With her in it. Yep.
Pretty effective. They did a little of that earlier too, when she wiped out in the car the first time. That was cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Poor planning, by the way, that was her worst. She's not a good planner. She is. Yeah. She's a runner.
She's a good runner.
I'm going to throw this Molotov cocktail into the alien that has me suspended.
The gaping
hundreds of feet in the
maw
air.
of the
Right.
Yeah. A mocktail.
A mocktail. A Molotov
Molotov mocktail.
Molotov mocktail. It's not really going to be on fire when you get it.
Right. Yeah.
All right. Let's
Just tastes like burning.
let's get to the and Kitty in the Sink. Just a brief mention. I just think that the boyfriend Ben never coming up
Poor old
again.
Ben.
Yeah.
Poor Ben probably got gassed.
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. He's toast.
Bummer.
Don't even check on him. All right. Now this. It's time for the Film Sack checklist. Bad breakfast, check. Acid-faced Goodman is not that different from non-acid-faced Goodman, check. Mm-hmm. His arm was pretty gnarly, though, his hands and stuff.
Yeah, I expected the way he was screaming and writhing around in the acid, I thought he was going to come up with full face.
Full Toxic Avenger.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
I also thought he'd come back after stuff blew up. I thought somehow he would get out.
Right after the explosion.
That's because he got in. That's because he got into your head.
That's what I mean. And the movie also subverted.
Yeah.
They subverted my expectations there because I really was waiting for that, but didn't happen. Yes, Randy, what'd you say?
Just got me thinking about does this movie have a literal chick guy in the bucket? Because Emmett goes into that bucket.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
You know what? He's literal man in the bucket.
Yeah.
Good call. Good call. Good call.
Grab a bucket.
Play that.
And by the way, don't throw the scissors in there. You I realize you're a psychotic idiot, but those are useful.
Right.
That's what I thought
what are you
too.
going to cut stuff with if you need to?
Yeah.
I agree.
Cut into your boxes
He was
of
done
fruit by the
cutting.
foot.
Yeah, that doesn't seem like much of a survivalist move.
No.
All right. How about Star Trek and MCU connections? I know there are a few here. Why don't we go through them?
Yeah, let's go. So first and foremost, J.J. Abrams produced this movie and also produced 3 Star Trek movies, Star Trek Into Darkness, and Star Trek Beyond. As a result, the same list counts for his co-producer, Ben Rosenblatt, on this movie. Same same stuff. The sound mixer for this movie is a guy named Noyan Kusarer. And Noyan Kusarer also mixed the sound for 5 Star Trek films.
Wow.
The motion picture, Star Trek 2 and 4, Insurrection, and Nemesis.
Wow. He's the sound works great in this.
Yeah.
I like it.
Super good.
Let's talk about Marvel. I want to tell you about the storyboard concept artist, Jared Morantz. So for 10 Cloverfield Lane, you imagine him drawing interior shots and exteriors of alien ships flying. This guy has 18 credits in Marvel movies.
Jeez.
Oh, wow.
It includes storyboarding Doctor Strange, Black Panther, Avengers Infinity War and Endgame, and the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. And speaking of Guardians of the Galaxy, we have the voice of Bradley Cooper. Bradley Cooper, ex-boyfriend on the phone. As you know, he was in 8 Marvel things. I won't name them all, but they're all as Rocket Raccoon.
Wait, wasn't he? What am I thinking of? He was in a chair. Oh nope, that's the D&D movie. Never mind.
Right.
That's right.
He was a little tiny guy in a chair in that.
That's right.
I love that.
Anybody
movie.
have a favorite Bradley Cooper outside of Marvel?
Oh, geez.
Limitless.
I loved his cameo in the Dungeons and Dragons thing. That was amazing.
Well, that was the one I was just talking about, but yeah.
I know.
I brought it up earlier, but Silver Linings Playbook is really, really good.
I need to see that.
Award-winning film.
What's the one with him? The same director did
David O. Russell?
Yeah, David O. Russell movie. American Hustle.
Yeah, because it rhymes.
Yeah, I love that one. He was great in that.
I think as a director, you should always do movies that rhyme with your name.
Yeah, it should be. Say Steven Spielberg's next movie should be called.
It's all about icebergs. Every movie that Steven Spielberg makes needs to be something about an iceberg.
It needs a berg in it.
Yeah,
yeah. Always Bergen. Always be Bergen.
Always be Bergen.
For me, the like baseline Bradley Cooper is the first Hangover, and I always wonder. Like I haven't seen it for a very long time, over 15 years. I just always wonder how it's going to go when we sack The Hangover, because it feels like a movie that may have aged really badly.
I mean, it's not. When did that come out? 2012 or something?
2009.
9. Jeez.
9.
Okay.
Good.
You might be right. I've never seen. Here we go. Admission time. Never seen a Hangover movie. Never seen them.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Wow.
Know a lot about who's in them. Ed Helms and Dr. What's his name and all them. But I don't have any other. At some point, somebody walks in a room with a pizza and it's all on fire or something. Or is that a meme? What is that from?
That's a meme. That's from
Community.
Oh,
yeah, that's good.
Oh, right. That's Glover.
That's the darkest timeline. Yeah, Glover.
Yeah. That's right. Okay, never mind. I've conflated those two things. But I don't know why that's a blind spot for me. But
I'm sure you've seen the shot of him as Phil in The Hangover, where he's all busted up and he's standing next to a car in the desert on a cell phone.
Yeah, I have.
And he goes,
that.
"Yeah, listen, we effed up."
Yeah,
it's just that is Bradley Cooper to me.
Yeah. I should probably just watch that.
You should.
Let's sack it.
If you want to sack it, I'll. Yeah, we can do it that way. I'll wait.
It's pretty comedic, but
it's short.
Well, that's fine. It's a very
it's like 48
kind of
hours /
Yeah, it's an action comedy.
Yeah, that, right?
Yeah.
Sort of less just pure laughs. I think we'll be okay.
Yeah.
I can already tell you what Scott's going to find is the most gross thing in the first Hangover film.
Really? I mean, they are raunchy, rated R movie, right? Like, so it's probably.
Does it have to do with Ed Helms' face?
No, I was thinking more of it with Ken Jeong.
Okay, yes, there's also that. That's pretty gross.
Sign me up.
I'm amazed that we have not gotten Mary Elizabeth Winstead into the MCU.
Oh, she'd be great, wouldn't she?
Not a bit.
We need make her Gwen Stacy in the Spider. She's a little too old to be Gwen Stacy. Make her alternate universe Spider Girl.
You know what? Not bad. Little older. We need a Spider Woman still.
Oh, Spider Woman. That's true. We don't have a Jessica Drew.
She could do great.
Jessica Drew.
You know what? There. Great fit. I feel bad though because then Sony controls all that shit though. They wouldn't.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
She was in Birds of Prey. So she's had her DC moment.
Oh, she has been in DC. That's right.
She was the Huntress in that. They may bring her back. I don't know. We'll see. But
maybe
her character is Nikki Swango in season 3 of Fargo. Hell of a thing.
It's fantastic.
Yep. You know what grossed me out in that show? Tampon in the drawer.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Did not enjoy that.
No. Yeah.
Great movie, though. Or show. I think of them as movies. They're really long movies.
Really long movies. Great season.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Well done. Let's move on to the soundtrack grade. I'd give it a MSTIE for more sweeping than I expected. It was a lot more cinematic. I thought it would be just intense all the time, but discordant or whatever. But it was a big movie, bombastic movie soundtrack when it was on.
Right.
And I don't think they overused it. It was fine, but
Yeah. And I like the Tell 'Em by the Exciters and Think We're Alone Now by Tommy James.
Oh yeah, that was that
the
version.
jukebox songs. Yeah.
It's funny. My brain made it the what's her name?
The Tiffany version.
Yeah.
Great piece of trivia too about that is November 87. Moni Moni by Billy Idol was number one, and then Tiffany's I Think We're Alone Now kicked it out of the top spot and moved it down to number 2. Both songs covers of Tommy James and the Shondells.
Wow.
Yeah.
They
back to back covers, number 1 Billboard charts.
Let me tell you, as somebody who was a youth back then, I was unaware of this culture around it. I didn't know. Yes. Like we would, the kids they were aiming for that were making it number 1, nobody knew about the Shondell business.
No.
We were all stupid then.
And unfortunately, Joan Jett's cover of Crimson and Clover nowhere near that date. Unfortunately, to be a triple threat.
That would have been cool. Yes,
Scott,
Randy?
I want you to know, since you didn't mention it, that our composer of this music in this movie was Bear McCreary.
Oh,
that's
really?
cool.
This is unusual sound for him. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe not.
I don't know. He's kind of in that phase at this point.
I guess so. It's not that drummy BSG stuff anymore.
Correct. Yeah, he phased that out at some point. This is only our second movie that we've ever sacked that has Bear McCreary music.
Gotta be kidding me. That's
the previous
crazy.
one being Europa Report.
Yeah.
Oh,
he's great. His theme
great.
for
I'm really
the
surprised we haven't done more. Yeah.
his theme for C, the movie or the TV show C on Apple TV.
Mm-hmm.
It's I love that show in general, but the intro that he made or the whatever you call it, the theme, unbelievable. Oh my gosh, I could listen to that right this second and I'd be happy. It's so good.
I need to see.
I think you'd enjoy it when things slow down and new stuff slows or something. If that's even possible, that's something to definitely think about.
Yeah, when I'm done with my rewatch of, which I wouldn't call a comfort rewatch, by my rewatch of Mad Men, I'll move on to see.
That's less of a comforting rewatch. Yeah,
there's not a comforting.
You're
show.
enjoying it though, right?
I'm really enjoying it. Yeah, it's like, oh man,
classic
the
for a
style
reason.
of that show.
There's another one, by the way. Imagine if instead of John Goodman, Howard had been played by John Hamm.
Oh yeah,
I can see
that.
Yeah. I can see that. Speaking of
seething,
everyone I love is a Fargo alum. I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but
well, it's because that show chews through actors.
Yeah. And they all want to be on it.
Yeah,
they're all like,
but
whoa.
Also gives us some new ones, like the cop in the first season who is now on St. Dennis.
She's wonderful. I can't think of her name.
So good, yeah.
Absolutely loved her. And another good one for that would be.
She was Proxima Midnight in the Marvel movies. She was in The Leftovers, and her name
Carrie Coon.
is
Jeez.
Carrie Coon, yeah.
Yeah, Carrie Coon. The first time I ever saw her was in, well, that's not true. Leftovers is my first taste of her, but love her, dude.
The St. Dennis lead that you're talking about is named Allison Tolman.
Allison Tolman, yeah.
Yep.
Man, that's such a good show.
Mm-hmm.
Social media post. This is where you guys sum it up in 280 characters or less. That's your limit. Try to live by it, Randy. You're first.
10 Cloverfield Lane. Within a bunker filled with filtered air, a man insists the world's gone quite insane. He offers puzzles, dinner, vintage flair, and frighteningly insists you should remain. Entrapped, our hero starts a stealthy quest. Duct tape and wits pitted against her host. You'd think escape would mean she passed the test, but outside is where her grit matters most.
Oh, that's very nice.
That is very nice.
Put that on the box. Really pretty. Hey, Brian Dunaway, the ball is in your hand.
Much shorter. 10 Cloverfield Lane. Resolve just like your daddy issues with fire and a bottle of whiskey.
Yeah. No hashtag?
I was waiting for a hashtag.
Yeah.
I know, yeah.
Well, I wasn't sure because we didn't talk about it, but I did have a hashtag at the ready.
Yeah.
Hashtag hooking like an IV stand.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good one.
That thing was
Because
doing...
we didn't talk about the hooks. Because I was thinking we didn't talk about the hooking
We
of
did.
the IV stand.
Did we?
Yeah, we did. We talked about how
All right.
she MacGyvered that.
Well, then I
very-
stand by it then.
she
Hooking like an
became Ellen
IV stand.
Ripley in the first 10 minutes of realizing she was captured. That came out.
That's true. That thing got used a couple times, though. They used it
She
to pull
did,
stuff
yeah.
out of the trash or whatever that was.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, if you're building a bunker for emergency purposes, you need to have emergency equipment. So, like, you imagine a whole, I don't know, closet full of hospital stuff. And like that, I never once questioned that.
No, I didn't either.
But taking up precious space with a jukebox, I really questioned that.
Yeah, especially for a guy that, he was so hardcore about all of the survival stuff. He had a lot of entertainment there,
Yeah.
And I don't know if that was just to make his kidnap.
As would I.
Would you?
Yeah.
I mean, that was probably to attract
What's the point of surviving if you can't do it? in
captured
style?
ladies.
But where space is so precious, you'd have an iPod and not a.
Is it precious?
Sure.
Well, I mean, it's.
I mean,
All you've got.
But he lives like out in the middle of nowhere.
I'll tell you what takes
got
more
cheap
generator
labor.
electricity is that damn jukebox versus an iPod
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
or, a 2016 iPhone.
I looked up how like if you had a 5,000 gallon kerosene tank underground, how long you could power a generator, and it's kind of impressive. Like you have to have it has to be a fuel like kerosene because it needs to last for years.
Yeah.
And like it's just interesting. There are people who have figured out this is how I'm going to make this work for 20 years. 20 years. You better get good at repairing a generator.
Yep. Get good, they say.
Get good.
Yep.
I hear it all the time.
G-U-D, I think.
Get good.
Get good. All right. Nicely done. Did we get to Ibit? No. Ibit.
Did not. No. I'll give you the censored version. 10 Cloverfield Lane. You see, Michelle, this is what happens when you find a stranger in the Alps.
Now I'm curious what the non-safe for work one was.
Oh, you see, Michelle, this is what happens when you fuck a stranger up the ass.
You're welcome.
Because
Is your curiosity satisfied, Mr.
because
Johnson?
in my head, Howard is Walter from The Big Lebowski
Right.
10 years
Right.
later.
Yeah, no, I don't. I should have seen that truck coming.
Yeah. Have you not heard when Big Lebowski was on television, the censored version was this is what happens when you find a stranger in the Alps?
I hadn't heard that, but I had this famous as a family story where I was going to show my kids The Big Lebowski because, and this is back when they were little-ish, because I saw the TV version and thought I'd forgotten how.
There wasn't a naked Julianne Moore going across the
with her freaking crotch out or whatever she was doing.
Yeah.
And all that stuff, language, everything. And so when I started the thing up and it was like, oh shit, what have I done? Anyway,
funny.
that's great.
Yeah.
That might be our first. Is that our first vocal F-bomb on the show? Might have been.
Oh, it can't be. I think
Not
Randy's
at
had
all.
at least one or two before me.
All right.
Yeah,
Well,
I recall at some point we got it out of Scott. I don't remember.
out of me, really?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't remember. There's probably people who've listened to the show 5 times through and can.
Yeah, they can
correct
tell
me.
you who the first F-bomber. That should be a trivia question at the
F-bomber?
Nerdtacular pub quiz.
the
event.
pub quiz night. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? Bobby listens. Just let us know, Bobby, if you need any help.
There you go. Somebody needs to find that out.
Let us move now down to the alternate titles. Yes, these are just handed to me. Flannelled Rice Vote is an anagram of 10 Cloverfield Lane. And I just wanted to share it.
Okay, thank you.
So that was almost called Flannelled Rice Vote. Or Eli Gemstone is a terrible host.
He is. He is. And
One of the worst.
I just can't stop thinking about who else it could have been. I'm really glad it's John Goodman.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a good call.
Yeah.
Also, based on his IMDb, he's down. He's like, whatever, let's go. Let's make anything.
Yeah.
Don't care
Yeah.
how low
Down
budget.
clown.
Have fun. All right, we got emails. And these are, one's a text, one's an email. This one is from Alex from Savannah. He says, hey, I'm just checking in. As a CPA, the accountant hits really close to home. especially the breakfast meal where he moved the food to not touch on his plate. He says, I have that same feeling all the time. The best gift my wife ever gave me was a set of cafeteria trays with the divided sections. I have one at our house, at the in-laws, my folks, and also at work when those big group meals happen. Brian, I mentioned it on Film Sack show, so I thought you might enjoy one of my many quirks. I'm not... Brian, I mentioned it on the Film Sack.
Brian,
Ibid.
Brian, Ibid.
Yeah. There's no period there. It threw me.
Yeah.
Also, Deloitte, meaning Deloitte and Touche. He says Deloitte, I guess they dropped the touche, is one of the big 4 CPA firms. As a bean counter, that is big leagues. I interviewed one in Atlanta, did not make the cut, or tried to work there, I guess. I'd never heard of Deloitte and Touche, and apparently I'm in the minority because this is maybe one of 20 emails we got saying,
wow, all talking about Deloitte and Touche.
Yeah, and they just go by Deloitte now, according to most of them. So
sorry, Touche.
Okay.
yeah, I don't know what happened to Touche.
Touche.
Although it's got the umlaut thing. Does it make it touche? No.
No.
Okay. Just still touche like douche.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yes.
Maybe that's why they got rid of it.
The umlaut is over the E?
Yeah, it's over the E.
Oh, wow.
It's weird,
Wow.
right?
Yeah, then I would have been, I would have totally been inclined to pronounce it touche.
Or at
But
least-
I guess it would be an accent mark over the E if it was touche.
Oh, good point.
Yeah.
Right. So Deloitte and Touche probably here's my guess. This is why they changed it or dropped the Touche. People, you know, you switch, you know, you switch first letters on things. I'll bet people called it toilet and douche.
Toilet and douche. Sure.
Because Deloitte, Deloitte sounds like toilet and douche. Fantastic.
Does. Yep.
Or douche. Anyway. Here's one from Chuck. This is Chuck Byers. He says, this is also about The Accountant. Says, hey, Slackers, I just listened to your episode about The Accountant. My wife loves this movie. She has a degree in mathematics. One of her favorite sweatshirts says, I love math because it makes people cry. So when The Accountant 2 came out, we went to see the second one the weekend it came out. We've been married for 23 years, and I've known her for 25. I've never seen her so disappointed. It ruined her day. She said it was like Ben was playing a completely different character, so I wondered if you'll pick up on that when you do watch it in a couple of weeks. Love the show later, Chuck. Yeah, I mean, this is going to be interesting because having seen it this freshly, we're going to be looking for continuity, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And if we don't find it, well, then that's on
There's
us.
going to be trouble.
That's right.
Mr. Affleck will have
Things
something
won't
to
add
answer
up.
for.
Right. Oh, good one.
Well, we'll see how that goes. We still have another movie before that. We'll get to that in a second. But before we do, I want to thank our existing Patreon clientele. You guys are all awesome. This week we didn't get anybody new, so we want to change that and get a few of you guys to sign up this week. And here's what you need to know. No commercials ever of any kind. Pre-show content every single week. There's some real bangers in there. All right? And if you go back, if you sign up now, you get all the old stuff too. So you don't just start fresh with this week. You get all the pre-shows. You get monthly host specials. You got one coming from me soon, I swear.
Ooh, cool.
Movie-related art from me in the mail, or print in the mail, I should say. Bunch of stuff. Super easy to do. Head on over to patreon.com/filmsack today and sign up. Our next movie is the 2001 Planet of the Apes.
Oh.
2001.
Airing on
2001.
Yeah, Hulu, Disney has it. It's the Tim Burton thing, and it is. I could have sworn we'd done this one, but should we check? We should make sure.
We checked.
Oh,
Okay,
We
so
checked.
we
You did
checked?
check? Okay, all right.
Limitless made me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's good. Yeah. We checked.
That's good. I'm very excited then because it's bad and it's also good in some ways, and it's going to be a great discussion. So tune back in for that. Get your Marky Mark on. Get your Michael Clark Duncan gorilla suit on.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And an amazing.
I'm sure Helena Bonham Carter's involved in some way or another.
She probably is. Also, I think Tim Roth is an amazing chimpanzee character. Is in charge of the army or something.
That's right. Yep.
Really good. It's one of the high points. And Charlton Heston makes an appearance. So all that and more next week.
Yep.
What?
We talk some more about Paul Giamatti. We always enjoy talking about Paul Giamatti.
Oh, he's very good in that
fantastic.
too.
He's a redhead in this one, I think.
Yep. Plays a orangutan. Or orangutan.
Or orangutan.
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 Yeah.
That's what the president has. That's it for us this week, though. Filmsack.com is the place to go. You'll find some cool merch and other fun stuff over there. So go check it out. Go check it out. Goo and do. Also, don't forget filmsack@gmail.com for emails, and you can also send us texts and voicemails while you're over on the website. That'll do it for us, for me, for Brian, and for Randy.
Let's go bathroom time.
Let's see you next time. Let's see you next time.
This has been a Frog Pants production. Find all our shows at frogpants.com.
Your humor is not funny.